All right. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good day. We're welcoming you with our chimes here. So good morning, good afternoon, good day, whichever part of the day it is for you. I'm Ron Graham. I'm the president of HAVIN, and we welcome you to our segment today, our workshop called What's Cookin'? We have a professional chef who's blind, who is presenting for us today. And I'd like to share something because as things have evolved over the last 2 weeks as we were planning this, schedules changed with a professional chef who was scheduled to be off today, being called into work. We tried to still continue this as planned. So what we have done is he has recorded his segment to be presented, and we have it broke into different segments as his workshop progresses. So we'll be presenting that, and while this presentation is in progress, it'll be shared over screen share. We will have everyone muted. You won't be able to unmute yourself at that time, but just so everyone can get the full benefit of the video presentation. And this is different for us, but we're trying to make sure that we can adapt to new situations, and I hope this works out well. I think all the time and preparation that's gone into it is going to make this a good workshop. So Talana Townsend, who is the president of the Visually Impaired Advocates, or VIA, she is also in the presentation. She introduces it. She is a HAVIN board member, and we appreciate her and Chef Boyce for their time and effort in preparing for this. Raul, are you able to give a brief Zoom interaction here on the shortcuts?
Hey there, this is Stacy. So yeah, so hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was saying go ahead, that's fine. No, just a couple of things about Zoom is first off, the meeting is being recorded, so everyone might see this meeting is being recorded prompt on their device. And in a lot of cases, you have to tap or click or enter on the got it button and not the close or leave button, or else that will kick you out of the meeting. And so the got it basically means you're acknowledging that you understand that the meeting is being recorded. And then unmuting is done with Alt-A on Windows, Command-Shift-A on Mac, or the tapping of the mute button on the bottom left corner of your device if you are connecting from an app. And as Ron mentioned, it won't work while the recording is being played back, but it will work at other times. Like right now, it does work. And that's it really for the main Zoom part.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And I appreciate Stacy and Raul for hosting the event. We're just glad to do this together. We have a good collaborative team effort putting this presentation here today, and I think we're good to go. So I welcome everybody here, and I hope you get as much out of this presentation as we are. So Raul, we got the cooking tips ready to go.
Yep, we are ready to go.
Okay.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Talana Townsend, and I am a part of HAVIN. And our episode today is called What's Cooking. We have our own chef, Bongee Boyce III, here with us.
How are you?
He is a graduate of Houston Community College with a bachelor's degree in culinary arts and also a bachelor degree in baking and pastry. And on today, he will be sharing with us some safety tips for the visually impaired community, sight impaired community, the sighted community, because they can use these tips as well, because in the kitchen you always have to be in a safe environment for you, yourself, and others. So I'm gonna turn this episode over to Mr. Bongee Boyce III. I'm sorry, Chef Bongee Boyce III, and he will take it over from here.
Thank you, Mr. Lon Townsend. I really appreciate those words of encouragement and warm greeting. Well, good afternoon, morning, and evening to those of you that are joining us today. I am Chef Bongee Boyce, and we are coming to you live from Houston, Texas, just to share some safe cooking tips that I feel that are very important to the visually or sighted impaired community. And if those of you that are sighted can use these ideas or these tips as well. All right, first tip that we want to share with you is a clean kitchen is a happy kitchen. If you make sure that everything, no debris, no clutter is in your way, that way when you are moving throughout the kitchen, everything is out of your way. You can have a free space to do everything that you like to do or to get accomplished in your kitchen. All right. Tip number 2. Okay, when you are cutting or beginning to cut using a cutting board, take a damp cloth and place it in the area where you would like to place your cutting board, like so, okay? Now, when you place the cutting board on top of the damp cloth, it keeps the cutting board from slipping on you when you start cutting or when you prepare to cut. That is a safety hint for you as well in the kitchen when you get started, okay? Knife skills, okay? Now, when we get ready to use the knife in the kitchen, the first thing you want to know is this. In order for your knife to be the best that it can possibly be, you have to sharpen it frequently, often, and make sure that you wipe your blade so it can get all the metal shavings off from when you are using your knife sharpener, okay? Also, when you are using your knife skills, another tip for you, I don't know if those of you in the audience are familiar with Kung Fu theater, but I like to call it the tiger claw. When you use, or for those of you that know how to tell somebody to come here with your index finger, that's exactly what we're gonna do. But instead of just the index finger, we're gonna use the whole hand. We're gonna cup it underneath like so. That way when you grab your knife or get ready to use your knife, you can make sure that you run your blade against your knuckles. That way when you start getting ready to cut, for those that are able to see the video, that way your knife is never off, your fingers are never under there, and your knife and your blade is always touching your knuckle while you're cutting your vegetables, fruit, meat, so on and so forth. Okay, another helpful tip in the kitchen would be a very nice way to put it, lemons, okay? For example, when you're using lemons, they stop a lot of oxidation from bananas, avocados, and it keeps something that I learned just recently. The lemon juice also keeps your okra from becoming slimy. Hey, that's something I didn't know, so I had to put that in there for me too. Okay, another tip in the kitchen, okay, parsley, okay, for garnishing purposes. you give it a real fine chop, okay? Now, once you give it a real fine chop, you take a linen cloth, okay? Then you place the parsley inside the linen cloth, give it a good twist, okay, to lock it inside that ball. Take it to the sink, rinse it under cold water until the green chlorophyll comes out of it, if that's indeed chlorophyll. But however, you want to get the green out of it when you're wringing it out, and when you're done wringing it out, really wring the linen cloth out and until you have no liquid coming out of it. And when you let it out or unroll it, it will have some nice dry parsley for garnishing your dishes. Okay. Another helpful tip, room temperature items. Things that are very successful when you pull them out for baking, as well as some other vegetables. Taking your eggs and your butter out when you know you're going to start baking some treats is very beneficial to you. Room temperature eggs are better than cold eggs. All right, as well as room temperature butter is better than cold butter. It creams better in most chefs' opinion, or in all chefs' opinions. Okay, same thing, room temperature for your carrots. Okay, now we talking about the carrot. If you try to cut your carrots when they're cold, they're very tough and it's very hard to keep still. But if they are room temperature, your knife slides through the carrot like butter. Just another helpful hint for you. Okay, boiling pots of water or liquid. Okay, if you are getting ready to boil some water for, okay, we're boiling eggs, all right? Okay, two things I'd like to share. If you are visually impaired, take your metal spoon or a plastic spoon, all right, and sit it on the side of your boiling pot. The vibration from the bubbles inside the pot should let you know when it is boiling. And if it's been boiling for at least 10 minutes or on the eye for 10 minutes, a pinch of salt will get you a rolling boil pretty swiftly. Let's see, what other helpful tips do I have to share? Okay, we did that, we did lemons, we did that, okay. Oh, all right, lemons, going back to the lemons and the oxidizing of items. All right, also, if you are using avocados, fresh avocados, when you are cutting them in half and you just need a place to store them, if you get some water and squeeze some lemon juice in it, and you can sit the avocado in the liquid, and it keeps the avocado bright green, fresh, and from oxidizing and turning brown for the avocado. Another helpful tip that I found out when you are, I heard it on a visually impaired podcast. I can't remember the name of it, but they used a brand new, in slicing tomatoes, they used a brand new rake, okay, from the beauty supply to put up against the tomato. Now, you have to do a little prepping for the tomato. If you cut the top off the tomato to create the flat surface so it won't roll on you, then you use the Afro pick, brand new from the store now, and they put it at the edge, and you took your knife and you made tomato slices. And that right there is a decent tip for your tomatoes. Another tip on the tomatoes, before using them, it's nice to let them come out to be room temperature as well, because when you slice the tomato while it's room temperature, all the juice stays put. When it's cold, the juice just runs everywhere or it disperses. But when it's room temperature and stored at room temperature, the juice stays in place. Okay, now that's all I have for you right now in this segment. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. We have some good stuff for you in a minute.
Mr. Bungee, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Townsend.
Any safety tips about your clothing or your hair or anything of that sort while you're in the kitchen?
Okay, for those of you ladies and some of you gentlemen that like to have your hair long, okay, first of all, first tip we'd like to do, we need a hairnet. If you have a lot of hair, if you are not able to put it up underneath your skull cap or your chef hat, ladies, a scrunchie, if you will, or a hair tie to tie your ponytail up and to put it in a bun, if you will, so everything will stay tucked up under your hat, nice and neat. On no jewelry hanging from your wrist or your neck, so anything could catch it or stuff like that. Okay. Also, your clothing needs to be, I don't want to say not form-fitting, but kind of sleek, if you will, so it won't be no extra baggage underneath your arms. And also, while you're cutting and trying to reach over things, your cuffs won't be in the soup or the sauces or anything like that. Chef shoes. Oh, okay. Oh, I apologize. I skipped the slacks. Slacks should be nice, loose fitting with a nice leather belt so you can adjust to keep them tight so they won't be slipping down on you. No sagging in the kitchen, please. Okay, and for your feet, the most important part of your uniform, non-skid shoes with no holes in the top, so there won't be any opportunity for liquid grease or anything like that to spill on top of your feet. Make sure you have nice cushions, and those are the tips that the reason you have these cushions in your shoes is keep some of that tension off your back. You know what I mean? And some of your joints on your knees. Those are the helpful tips that I have for you this evening. Thank you very morning or night, afternoon. Thank you so much, and we'll see you shortly.
Mr. Bungee, I have another question.
Yes, Miss Townsend.
When you're using a hot oven or a stove, what can protect you from steam running in your face or steam burns on your arms or your hands?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. The first thing you want to do, never, ever grab a pot or a pan off the stove or the oven with a damp cloth. We want to make sure that it is dry. If you grab it with a damp cloth, that is going to create steam, which is going to burn you, and then guess what? All of your delicious food will be on the floor. Okay, we also, you said protect you from your face. Okay, when you open the oven, don't just stand there, let the heat escape so it won't burn, it won't get overheated or it won't catch you off guard and you try to reach in and you burn yourself. Okay, I apologize, Ms. Townsend, did I answer all of those questions that you had in that portion?
Yes, sir, you did. Could you leave us with your contact information just in case somebody has some more questions that they would like to be addressed?
Okay. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at 713-822-3829. Again, 713-822-3829. My name is Bungee, like in bungee cord. And if I don't answer the first time, I will answer the second time. Y'all know how it is. We don't answer numbers we don't know. Love you guys. Miss Townsend, is there anything else for me at this time?
Could you please leave us with your email too?
Oh, all lowercase letters, BONGEEBOYCEIII@yahoo.com. And that's all lowercase letters once again. Miss Townsend.
Thank you so much, Chef Boyce, for that interesting tips. They are so helpful for those who are sight impaired, visually impaired, low vision, high vision, or even that have 20/20 vision. Those tips can be used all across the board. It doesn't matter if you're a cook or you're a baker, you can use those type of tips to go forward, that there will be safety in your kitchen where you can protect yourself and others. Thanks for your time. We look forward to the next segment with What's Cooking with Chef Boyce. Thanks. Welcome back. Cooking with Chef Bongee Boyce. What is he cooking on today? We're gonna find out. Yum, yum, yum. I'm excited to see what is one of his delicate dishes that he likes to cook on a regular basis. How about you? So, Chef Boyce,
Yes, ma'am.
what are we cooking today?
Miss Townsend, we're gonna have some sauteed chicken with some mixed up seasoning that we put together. Then we're gonna saute it in some olive oil. Then we're gonna take some fresh vegetables, some squash, zucchini, some carrots, some red, yellow, and orange bell peppers. Oh, I forgot the red onions and mushrooms. And we're gonna saute all that together. Well, we're gonna cook the chicken first and then saute the vegetables. And then we're gonna deglaze the pan with a wine sauce, a Moscato, if you will. The name is off limits for right now. But until then, let's get started.
What's cooking with Bungee?
All right. First thing we have to do, we have to get it's called our mise en place, which is gathering all your ingredients and things that you need together to put together your dish. Okay, so right here, we have our squash, our zucchini, our carrots. Then we also have our, of course, the onions, our bell peppers, and our, oh, and that's it. Oh, and our mushrooms, I apologize. Now, we're gonna start showing off our chef skills or our knife skills with the trusty safety tips we gave earlier. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna slice these mushrooms. Okay, so now, I'm gonna bring the mushrooms right here to the counter. Okay, now, all right, when we get ready to take care of the mushrooms, in order to get ready to use them, we wash them off. And then we also take a napkin and we wipe from the inside to the outside, removing all the dirt that we possibly can so we can have a nice clean button mushroom. And then we're gonna, well, I like to remove the stem so it makes it simpler for me. And then I cut the stem in half. And then we go straight down and just make some little cuts on it so that they can be manageable in our skillet. And they can cook evenly with the rest of the vegetables inside the skillet. Okay. All right, now, all right, I took the stem off the mushroom. Okay, but it's totally up to you when you're preparing your dish. However, that's what I like to do to make it an even cut. And once I take the stem, remove the stem, excuse me, I cut the mushroom in half and then I lay it face down so I can make it even, so it'll stay still for me. And then I can make our trusty safety tip hand claw and we can slice the mushroom accordingly so we can have dinner. Okay, and we want to give, I don't want to say I have a ruler or anything like that, but I want to say it's maybe, if you want to get technical, maybe 3/8 of an inch, maybe, something like so. Okay, not too thin where you can't taste it, but not too thick where it'll be overpowering your dish as well in the vegetable selection that you've chosen for the meal. Okay, now we're gonna try to get it going so we can go get started and get through. All right. Okay. Also, while you're preparing the dish, I like to listen to a little music to keep the ambiance going for whomever you're cooking the dish with, whether it be for close family, friends, loved ones, if you will, someone significantly other in your life. You know, hey, you don't have to be all over the place. You cook dinner for anybody. Hey, that's why they call it just cooking with whatever you like to cook with. You too can use some of your favorite dishes or meals or things of that nature in order to wow your guests. It doesn't hurt to also look off the internet. Some places have nice little dishes that are quick, simple. For those of us that are not as culinary savvy in the kitchen, if you're just starting out, there are all types of tips and things you can cook that go with your experience. So hey, it's up to you. I hate to take you to the cartoon Ratatouille, but anyone can cook. You have to forgive me. That's a little humor from watching it with my daughters. Okay. Miss Townsend, would you happen to have any questions for the viewers at this time while we're slicing these mushrooms and squash and zucchini for the meal or for the dish?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Ask away, please.
How long have you been in loving to cook food?
Oh, now this is a little personal question now.
I don't want to tell your age. Just say how long you've been in the business.
Oh, how long I've been in the business?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I've been rolling for maybe at least 30 years. 30, yeah.
Wow. So that means you were cooking before you were able to get a job
Yes, ma'am.
in mother's kitchen.
Yes, it first started with, I hate to say it, I've been a big boy for a while, so it started with those greasy pancakes that are crispy around the edges and nice and golden brown in the middle. I don't know for those of us that remember those pancakes, but yeah, some of the pancakes my father used to make. Now that was the only thing he cooked, but I started with them pancakes. I wanted them greasy pancakes with some of that thick syrup, and of course, you guys, you had to put a little butter on it so it'll go on and melt right.
Wow, 30 years. That's awesome.
Oh yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So do you have a particular dish that's your favorite?
My favorite dish, I really don't have one because I like to cook everything, and I don't have a problem trying to, well, I like to perfect each dish that I try to make. So as of right now, I don't really have a favorite dish, but if I had a choice, it would be blackened salmon with some nice vegetables to go with it. No, not asparagus. I'm not gonna say asparagus because it is pretty tasty when you grill it. But yeah, I like a nice rice pilaf with some infused vegetables with it. Just to take, just to give it a little earthy tint or earthy flavor to it, as well as a light wine sauce or a butter sauce to go with it. I am trying to incorporate more vegetables in my diet versus starches, and I'm trying to cut down, all whites, if you will, bread, pasta, chips, which is something that's kind of hard because I love those cheddar cheese jalapeno Cheetos. You know what I'm saying, Miss Tarrington?
Yes, I kind of figured by the dish that you're preparing today, what's cooking with Chef Boyce, that you were on the healthier side of cooking because all the vegetables that I heard, mushrooms, squash, zucchini, carrots, colorful bell peppers, red onions. I was like, wow, that sounds very healthy. And then you're doing it with chicken, a lighter meat.
Yes, ma'am. It's one of the leaner pieces of meat that we have in our cuisine these days.
Okay.
All right. We got our mushrooms cut. Now we're going to move over to our trusty bell peppers.
Okay, Chef Boyce, you
Yes,
said
ma'am.
your trusty bell peppers, and I heard you run down a list of bell peppers of orange, yellow, and red. When I was growing up, all I knew about was green bell peppers. Can you tell me what's the difference, or how is there a difference between the green bell peppers, the red, yellow, and orange bell peppers? Is there a difference?
Yes, ma'am, there is a difference. Now, the green bell peppers are more on the bitter, bitter side. I'm gonna say it again, bitter side. Okay. However, that's mostly used in Southern cuisine. However, there are different types of bell peppers out there. Of course, orange, yellow, red. Also purple, and they are on the sweeter side of the bell pepper spectrum, if you will. And I found that they are better in the dishes that you try to prepare if you don't want it to either be bitter with the bitterness from the green bell pepper. However, that's why you make the contrast with the colored bell pepper, because it does add a hint of sweetness to it, as well as keeping it on the more flavorful side, if you will. Now,
I know, I remember that. I can only imagine now that with the red, yellow, and orange bell peppers, it gives a brightness to the dish. It makes the dish look more eloquent to me, just knowing, picturing the different color bell peppers, and to see a dish with those ingredients in it would be fabulous looking.
yes, ma'am, we try to appease all the guests that come in our kitchen, if you will. I mean, I'm trying to see. Okay, you said the color. Okay, well, we on the lighter side, we want to. You eat with your eyes first, is what I'm going.
Okay.
Because when you eat with your eyes first, it's telling your mind, okay, look at the array of colors that you got in that dish.
It's appeasing
Yes.
to the eye.
They say you eat with your eyes first
Yeah.
before you taste it. So if you do eat with your eyes are enjoying the buffet of colors that are on your dish. And the contrast that is going on with the different sauce, the vegetables, the chicken, how it's looking, how tender it looks, for those of them that can see. On the other hand, you have to wait till you can taste it, or wait till the chicken get 3/4 or right at that fine line of done, where you can sample a piece to see if it needs to saute a little longer, or you can take it out and let it finish when you deglaze the pan and put a little sauce with it, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I have a question.
I have an answer.
With cutting your bell peppers on today with this dish, are you cutting in strips, or are you dicing, or are you cutting in those little, I don't want to, how some dishes you get, they're like in big chunks, maybe a 2 by 2 centimeter length, or
Yeah?
or are you slicing the bell peppers
Well,
like in
actually,
strips?
For today's dish, we're cutting some strips, okay?
Okay.
But then we're also cutting the strips into manageable strips. That way, maybe a little less, right at an inch, if not less, smaller, to add a variety of colors. You know, we want to keep the length or the measurement pretty freelance too, but we want to all keep it the same uniform size so that it can all cook evenly. That is the purpose of making sure that you cut everything as close to even as possible, so when you start preparing the dish, it cooks evenly.
Okay, I have a question. It might be a crazy question, but
there are no crazy
sometimes cumin is not cumin anymore. Are you de-seeding those bell peppers?
Yes, ma'am. You just heard me crisply take it out right now. Okay.
Do you know, Chef Boyce, if those seeds, does it make a dish hotter or it's not like a jalapeno?
No, the bell pepper seeds are not hot like jalapeno seeds. Okay.
Okay.
It's still a pepper, but it's in the pepper family, but it's not a hot pepper.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Another question.
Here we go.
I'm visually impaired, so I get like a little speckle of that inside in there. Would it still be okay? It's not gonna kill me or nothing, right?
No, it's not gonna kill you.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure, because I know a couple of times with cooking, I've accidentally put a little seeds from the bell pepper in there, not knowing.
It wasn't hot, was it, Miss Townsend?
No, it wasn't hot, but it's just a question that I had. Can they become hot, or is it just a mild taste?
If they become hot, you have to add something to it.
Okay.
But it does, in my opinion, they really don't have a taste. And that's just my opinion, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good to know. So with you doing this dish and you're cutting in strips, will all the vegetables be cut in strips, or will you do different cuts on different vegetables? Or does different vegetables have a better cut than some?
Some vegetables do cut better than others, okay? However, it's the way in which you choose to cut them while creating the presentation in your mind for the end result of the dish, okay? For example, carrots, they cut better when they're room temperature, right? Okay, once I peel it and cut the excess off of it and I cut it in half, I can either choose to do half moons, which would be cut in half and then laying it flat down and then just cutting it straight down, or I can cut it at an angle, which will give it a slant or on a bias, if you will, which is at an angle, and then you have carrots at an angle, but you have a nice presentation for the cut for that carrot.
Okay.
And that goes, okay, it also goes for the other things, squash, zucchini, etc., etc.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
That's
sir.
nice to know.
Hey, thanks for asking. Keeping me on my toes over here.
That's no problem. I'm just interested because I like to cook. Hey, but one day I met this guy and he loves to cook. And he has opened my repertoire to other vegetables, other fruits, other things of that sort that I have incorporated into my meal planning. So it's just good to know how the different cuts or the different type of vegetables bring a different flavor if it's cut a different way.
The cut is more for the eye appeal,
Okay.
not the flavor.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter how you cut it, it's still
Gonna cook the same.
Well, it's still an orange, yellow, or a red bell pepper, or a sweet pepper, if you will.
Okay.
So, doesn't matter how you cut, it's still gonna taste the same. It just depends on how you prepare the dish.
Oh, okay.
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 Just a little FYI. So
Thanks for that bit of information.
not a problem. Thanks for the questions. Keep them coming. I'll answer as many as I can to the best of my ability. No problem. Okay, now our bell peppers are cut.
Wow, that's
So-
2 vegetables down.
Okay, let's put these things away. Now, please remember, when you finish each vegetable, go ahead and give your cutting board a quick wipe down. Kind of try to keep your area clean, because a clean kitchen is a happy kitchen, and you ain't got a lot of debris and trash in your way when you're trying to move things out of your way, clean up your area if you will. So we're just gonna get our towel each. Okay. Right there. Now,
Which one of our vegetables is next, Chef Boyce?
we finna go on and I guess we're gonna have some zucchini right now. We're gonna cut the ends off, if y'all would like to know what I am doing. And then I'm cutting them into some manageable pieces so that I can make some strips, if you will. And that way I can cut it in half moons. You know, sometimes being that we are sight challenged, it really tickles me that I cannot get it to go straight down the middle of the vegetable. You know what I mean? So I can make an even cut. Yeah. But hey, it's just a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it together, so it's a little kitchen humor too. All right, so
you're making circles right now, but then you're gonna cut them in half moons.
yes, ma'am, that's what I'm doing as we speak.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. My container. I hope the music is pretty satisfying to you, to my viewing audience. I mean, I try to make everybody welcome in the kitchen, if you don't mind coming and visiting with me this evening. Oh, and I do not want y'all to not give any kudos to my camera lady. That's Aunt Clara. We love her to death, and we appreciate her for helping us out with this video.
Thank you, Aunt Clara.
We love
You're
you.
welcome.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you. When that half cut up, she in trouble. Hey, it's all right. I'm at home in my kitchen, having a nice time preparing a meal with my family and friends and sharing it with the people of Haven. Thank you. Okay, we just about done with that zucchini, y'all. Just to share a little insight on me being able to cut these vegetables like this. I used to work for TGI Fridays as the expediter, and I used to have to cut a case of squash, a case of zucchini, maybe 10 pounds of carrots, and some 5 pounds of red onions, and that's what we used to mix for our vegetables at TGI Fridays. And yes, we did not have if we tried to put it in the automatic slicer, it would cut them all bad, so we had to cut them by hand. That's the only way I've been getting good at this knife skill situation. Okay.
So you've worked at TGI Fridays.
Oh, yes,
Wow.
ma'am.
What are some other establishments that you had the pleasure of gracing your presence in?
Okay. Of course, my first job was McDonald's. And then I moved from McDonald's to Jack in the Box. Then when I transitioned out of Jack in the Box, I got a job as a cook at Chili's Bar and Grill. Hey, when I went to Chili's, I got pretty decent, and then I moved to TGI Fridays. And when I moved to TGI Fridays, I stayed there for a little while. I did some often odds and ends. I used to work at Chili's Bar and Grill, and then I also worked for Bennigan's for a little while, as well as Texas Roadhouse. So that would be, well, okay, that would be the so-called the resume. Right now, I am currently holding a position as the chicken tender OG at Minute Maid Park, where we hand bread chicken tenders every game for the fans in the stands. And from what I'm being told, it's a pretty good hit. So that's what we do. And that is my job that I am holding down at this particular time.
Okay. Are we still on our zucchini?
Yes, ma'am. I had to cut up or prepare for the dish, and I should be done in maybe 1 minute, so we can move on to squash.
Okay. So it seems like this dish is gonna have an array of colors.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
an array of colors.
Hey,
'Cause I
baby.
know the zucchini is green, the squash is yellow, the bell peppers yellow, orange, and red. Then you're gonna have the red onion, but that's not gonna be really red. Carrot, orange. That seems like there's gonna be a rainbow of colorful dish.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Well, we're trying to satisfy everybody's palate with the healthiness, you know?
Okay.
We're not trying to overwhelm people and shove down healthy food down everybody's throat, but for those that choose to live a better life, we try to incorporate more vegetables and try to get rid of some of the heavier starches that are mostly consuming the plate in our restaurants these days, i.e. rice, potatoes, potato chips, you know, bread, stuff like that. You know, we try to stay on the healthier side of the dish, and you know, it does wonders for your body, because your body is taking all the nutrients that the vegetables are introducing to it, and not only that, you feel better. It does wonders for your digestive system. Not only that, you have more energy. You're not as sluggish from all the starches that are consuming or turning into sugar, which really is harmful to some of us that are having that issue with that silent killer diabetes. Same thing for the silent killer hypertension. We're trying to keep it healthy, keep some decent vegetables so we can combat all those things naturally instead of taking all this medicine that they're introducing to us and not having the proper thing to accompany it or to reassure the patients that, hey, it's going to be okay. Well, eating some decent vegetables with your diet ensures that you will be okay, because you're getting decent and healthy nutrients from each vegetable, and each vegetable that we're using is pretty high in antioxidants. That's one of those minute details that they don't share with you all the time.
Okay, that's good food for thought. Good food for thought.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. I have one more piece of squash to deal with. And
Oh, we're on the squash. Okay.
yes, ma'am. We're moving right along through this lovely dish.
So how are you cutting the squash this today?
Half moons?
Oh, they're going to be half moons too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're gonna keep the dish and the vegetables as uniform as possible so they can all cook evenly. Once
Okay.
we start cooking them, that way something won't be too mushy, something won't be too firm, you know, everything will cook nice and even. That's our style.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, now, all right, let's put that, okay, we can move that up there. Okay, all right, that's the mushroom, bell peppers, squash, no, that's zucchini squash, okay, all right, let's see, all right, that's the last, okay, onion and then carrot, okay. Hey, we doing pretty good on time, I believe. All right, here we go with these carrots, y'all. All right, now once again, carrots work better and they cut better when they are room temp, okay? So please keep that in mind when you are getting ready to prepare you a dish with your carrots. Let them sit out at room temperature so that they will be very pliable and very easy to cut for you. Okay, I heard it. There it is. All right. Now, we're going to take a second. We're going to move this carrot peeler right here. Now, we're going to clean our area real quick just so we can keep it together. All right. There we go. All right. Okay, first we're gonna wipe our knife. Set that right there. Now also guys, sometimes it really helps when you are trying, if you are a beginner in the kitchen, sometimes don't panic, but every now and then you're gonna have to touch a hot dish or a hot pot every now and then just to get acclimated or know exactly where the pot is, where you're gonna place something in the pot, okay? Also, when you're doing that, if you decide to fry, if you're not using a fry daddy or what have you with the basket, remember to lay away from you so the grease won't splash on you and you won't burn yourself. Okay, now that we got our cutting, yes ma'am.
That's another helpful hint or tip.
Yes ma'am. We want everybody to be safe in the kitchen, you know what I mean? I mean,
Safety first.
It's not all about how fast you cook in the kitchen or how fast you move in the kitchen. You have to be very accurate and precise so you can watch what you're doing so you won't hurt yourself or anyone else that could be possibly in the kitchen with you. All right. Oh, another helpful tip, and this is one of those for the beginners. When you walk through the kitchen, please remember, carry the knife loosely and by your side so you won't stick anyone or cut anyone, or if it does slip out of your hand and fall, it'll fall straight to the floor. All right. Just a little FYI and a helpful tip for you in the kitchen.
Thanks for that tip.
No problem. Teamwork make the dream work. That's what we're here for.
So now we're doing the carrots.
No, right now we're doing the onion.
Oh, you're on the onion.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
So I have a question with your onion.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a particular way, or I'm not gonna say a particular way because everybody has their own way, but what have you found helpful when cutting an onion? Because I know when I peel an onion, it has two sides.
Okay.
It's round. One side has little sprinkly little things like a root, and the other side might be flat sometimes. So sometimes I get confused. Is there a side that I have to start from, or where do you say it's more convenient to start from? What makes it an easier, I want to say a smooth pathway for you dicing up your onion?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. It is indeed two sides. It's I don't want to say it's a flat side, but it's flatter than the root side. The root side is more on a cone type situation, if you will. But in order to cut the onion properly, you cut the flat side first, which leaves your root side intact. Now, you leave the root side intact in order to make sure you have a nice firm handle on your onion. That way, it helps you when you get ready to slice it and dice it, and it keeps it all in one piece. That way, you can dice the onion pretty much in a smooth motion, if you will. Once you cut it in half and make your slits and turn it to the side, you can make diced onions pretty swiftly. You can make sliced onions if you don't do all the extra cuts that you need to make in order to make it happen for you. But yes, ma'am, it is two sides, the root side and the side that you can chop off to make flat, so that you can cut and make rings and things of that nature. Yes, ma'am.
That's interesting, because I thought the onion was just the onion. But that's nice to know.
Oh, no problem. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Sharing all the information that I can with the community, so they can choose to cook for themselves and become more independent as well. All right, let's see. How much?
So today we're dicing up the onions.
Yes, we
Okay.
are. And in order for me to dice the onions, I did do exactly what I told you. I cut the flat side down, and then I also took the outer peel off. Then we sliced rings of onion, and then we laid the ring of onion down, and then we just diced it in the half moon shape, so that all the way around the half moon of the onion. And that is what we got, diced onions right here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Let me see. And I do believe the carrots would be the last thing that we have to work on. Yes, ma'am.
Yay!
Then we'll be able to start heating up that skillet to get it going for us. Oh, I forgot to dice the chicken. We're finna dice the chicken up or cut the chicken too. Oh, no, we don't want it. No jalapeno.
So with your carrots, Chef Boyce, do I peel the carrots? Because we're using fresh carrots, correct?
Yes, ma'am. All the vegetables are fresh in the dish today.
Okay. So with the carrots, are you peeling the carrots?
Yes, ma'am, we sure are. I'm getting ready to peel them as we speak.
So what type of device are you using to peel the carrots?
I'm using my trusty carrot peeler I got in my culinary set at HCC, and it hasn't let me down yet, and it works pretty well.
Can I purchase, I didn't go to HCC, but can carrot peeler be purchased like in a local Walmart or Target or anything like that?
Yes, ma'am, they most certainly can. You can purchase a carrot peeler in most Walmarts, if you will, HEB, Kroger's as well. But if you really want a good one, you have to search, in my opinion. I like the restaurant supply store, but everybody's not a restaurant supply store kind of person. So Walmart would be the alternative, if you will. And when you're choosing a carrot peeler or a peeler, don't get the most fancy one where it's too hard for you to operate or to figure out, because at the end of the day, you just wanted to peel your vegetables, your potatoes, and get some of that rough skin off, so it can be a decent product for you when you are preparing your dish.
Okay.
Remember also, room temperature, they're easier to cut.
It's sounds like they're easier to peel too with being room temperature.
Hey, if you got a good peeler, it's real easy. Now, another helpful tip if you are visually impaired. Okay, you know, when you peel your carrots, it's a gentle little turn until you feel it smooth all the way around. That's how you know you've gotten all the nasty skin or the skin that you want to remove from the carrot in order for it to be a nice smooth carrot when you get ready to prepare it and add it to your dish. Just some, little tips along the way as well while we're preparing the dish, as they keep coming to me. I don't have a problem sharing them.
So in this dish right here, approximately how many carrots will you be using?
If I'm paying attention, I believe I have 4. And you can use, in the dish, you can use as many carrots, squash, zucchini you choose to use. It's up to you. It's all on your preference. You can use any type of vegetables you like to use as well. I mean, the choices are endless. Hey, so the world is yours.
Oh, okay. Does that go the same with the meat selection too? You can use any meat that you would like?
Yes, ma'am. You can use any meat if you choose. However, if you are trying to from the fattier meats or the meats that are more harmful to you or your diet choice, then yes, ma'am. I would suggest staying with the leaner cuts of meat, fish. Pork is a leaner meat as well. Chicken, turkey. Of course, I did say fish. Not all fish is lean. Some fish are considered more fattier than others. So it's your personal preference at the end of the day,
Okay. What about shrimp? Is that on the leaner side of the food spectrum? Yes, because it's seafood.
Okay, the shrimp is tricky. And please, I am not a physician. However, you can do your research as well. They say shrimp is very high in cholesterol. So if you are having an issue with some cholesterol, shrimp would not be the best thing for your diet. However, a helpful tip, Cheerios. Not Honey Nut Cheerios, but regular Cheerios reduces your cholesterol. And that's from the Good Eats channel. Just a little FYI. Anything else, Ms. Townsend?
No, I'm just excited to get to the aroma of smelling the dish.
Oh, we'll be there in just a second. I just have to take care of these carrots, and then we can get the situation set up where we can prepare the dish.
So how are you cutting the carrots, Chef Boyce?
Oh, half moons.
Are there going to be half moons too?
Yes, ma'am. Once again, uniformity, so it can all cook at the same time, and we can have a nice, evenly cooked dish. Okay, now I'm finna handle up on these carrots, and then we can clean our area and set it up for our next portion of the video. And just for those of you and for our viewing pleasure, I really appreciate the opportunity to come in your kitchen this evening, morning, or afternoon to share these tips and the opportunity to be in your home.
Well, we thank you so much for taking out the time to present this to us.
Oh, not a problem. I appreciate it once again. All right. All right, now we are getting ready to cut up our chicken. All righty, all righty, all righty.
Have you already diced the carrots?
No, I just cleaned off my cutting board and everything. I'm fixing to get ready to take care of that. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay.
You're so awesome. Thanks, Miss Townsend.
You're welcome, Chef Boyce.
Okay. Alrighty. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me this evening, this morning, this afternoon. All right, now we finna cut these carrots. Yes, indeed. Okay, well, oh, there we go. All righty.
I know that the carrot is a more, I want to say a firm vegetable.
Yes, ma'am.
So does it take a little longer for them to cook or get tender?
Yes, ma'am, it does. That's why that's why cutting them in the half moons and keeping all the vegetables as uniform as possible helps to cook evenly, okay, or helps the dish cook evenly. Yes, it is a thicker vegetable. However, we'll put it in a little sooner than we would if we would just do the squash, zucchini, and the mushrooms.
Okay.
For example, the mushrooms, okay, we would probably put those in so they could absorb the flavor of the oil and stuff and the garlic, right? However, when we add the more we add to the dish, okay, the building the flavors that we're trying to achieve, which helps flavor the dish as well as the different times of cooking each vegetable, if you will. Because yes, ma'am, the carrots are thicker. However, if you put them in early, the same thing with the mushrooms, they'll absorb the flavor together as well as continue to tenderize or get tender while you're cooking them in the dish. And then, after maybe 5-7 minutes or so, when they start getting a good little sizzle, then you can add your squash and zucchini and then give that the rest of the time to finish out in the dish. But you can always check your flavor and taste your texture of your carrots the longer or however you choose to cook them in the dish.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done pretty good with this explanation.
Thank you for that tidbit of information.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, we lost one.
That's no problem.
Hey, that's
It
pretty
happens
good.
sometimes.
Hey, that's the first one I've lost all day. All right. We're in the home stretch, everybody. Okay, just for a little FYI, the reason I didn't cut that carrot in half was because it was kind of thin and small. So if I left it alone, it would be just the right size to keep the uniformity cooking, okay? For those of you that are watching with your viewing pleasure. Yeah. Okay, last carrot. Okay, while we're cutting this carrot, another helpful tip. If you have to, now I'm not saying most people will, but if you just so happen to have to sneeze or cough, remember to cough in your elbow so it won't spread the germs throughout the kitchen or on your food that you're trying to prepare for your customers or your guests. You don't want to make anyone sick. All right. Just a little helpful hint while I'm just sitting here slicing up these carrots while we just about done.
Okay. Chef Boyce, what size knife is that you're using?
Okay, chef knives come in 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches, and I do believe they have a 14-inch, but don't quote me on that one, but I do know they have an 8-inch, a 10-inch, and a 12-inch. Okay, and the knife that I have right now, I believe it is a 10-inch chef knife. Oh, French knife, excuse me. Chef French, that's the main knife that you use as the chef, the French knife. Okay. All right, now we're just about ready to pull out our skillet to get that olive oil going, that EEOV. Okay. Bam. I apologize, guys. I jumped the gun. I forgot that we have to prepare our chicken. Slice it up, get it ready for the meal, and then we are ready to move forward. All right. Let's clean up our area. Yes, ma'am. All right, we're back. Now we are on the final piece to the dish with What's Cooking with Chef Bongee. All right, we're finna season our chicken. And that happens in the kitchen, you know, stuff falling, you know. All right, we're gonna season our chicken very generously. Wanna make sure we got all the chicken with some seasoning on it. And we're gonna rotate it around so it is very, very flavorful. All right, for all the lovely people that have a little vision, if my camera lady would come closer for me. How we looking on that seasoning? We're looking delicious. Thank you. We shout out to our camera lady, y'all. She's very sweet.
With your seasoning, Chef Boyce, how do you determine how much seasoning you're putting on your meat or in your dish?
As of right now, I've been trying to find a better way to perfect or season my food. So as of right now, I've been doing the little pinch method, if you will. Mix up some seasoning in a bowl and then sprinkle it with adding pinches of gracefully or graciously or generously till I feel the seasoning stuck on the meat or the protein, and then I season afterwards accordingly. Oh, excuse me.
I washed your spoon for you, Chef Boyce.
Thank you.
I hear a little sizzle in your skillet. Did you add something to the skillet?
Once again, Miss Townsend, I add a little olive oil so that we could saute or pan fry the chicken. Or pan sear, excuse me, not fry, pan sear the chicken.
Is it a difference or why you choose to use the olive oil?
Yes, ma'am. In my personal experience, it
All right. Hey, this. There we
and
go.
with that being said, you know, you don't want your meat dry to where it's doing exactly what you want it to do. Not overcooked, not undercooked, just cooked evenly. That even word again. So that's why we try to make sure all the pieces of chicken are even so they can cook evenly. Same thing with the vegetables. Same thing with carrots, mushrooms, all of the vegetables that we're using. We want to try to keep the size as uniform as possible so everything can cook evenly.
In this particular dish, how long are you searing your chicken pieces?
8 to 10 minutes
Okay.
or until tender and completely done, please. We don't want any salmonella in the dish.
So right now, by me hearing, you're just tossing the chicken around in the olive oil
Yes,
so that
ma'am.
it's cooking.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Bless you. Oh, that means we're doing pretty good if the camera lady sneezing, everybody. All right, now what we're doing right now, yes, we are. We're just agitating. Making sure all the chicken is separate and cooking and getting a little brown on it as well. Getting a little brown. Oh, yeah. Oh.
What type of skillet are you using? Is that a countertop electric skillet?
Yes, ma'am. I'm using an electric skillet. That way we can pretty much do everything in one pot. Make it unique. Make it easy for the chef, whoever, or the cook in the kitchen at that time to perform the duties that they're trying to do. And it also is wonderful that you use it's one pot shot pretty much. And that works out pretty well for most visually impaired folks that are using an electric skillet or that like to consolidate their meals.
That's wonderful to know. It's an ease on having all the different pots and water boiling here and this popping there that you can do some dishes with a one skillet wonder.
Yes, ma'am. It makes it nice for everyone, and as far as the end result is concerned, because one pot to clean up. I mean, hey, we try to make it good for everybody, right?
The chicken smells pretty seasoned.
Yeah. Thank you.
The aroma is delightful.
Oh. Watch out now. You're using them big words. We just trying to make it nice now. Just a little humor for the family at home. Try to keep it nice. Try to keep it cool. Okay. Please, once again, viewers, don't be alarmed. You have to touch the hot pot every now and again so you'll know exactly what's going on, where your utensils are in the dish. Same thing for some other things as well. All right. Pardon me, coming by. Yeah, you can give it to me. All right.
What are we doing now, Chef Boyce?
We're going to get ready to incorporate these vegetables slowly.
Okay.
We're going to start with the mushrooms first because it's going to take them just a second to cook. All right. Okay, mushrooms first. All right. Where them carrots at? Mushrooms. All right, mushrooms. We're gonna add the carrots, okay? And then we're gonna add that lovely pan of butter. All right, what butter?
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah.
So the two vegetables that you have already added were the carrots and the mushrooms because it takes them a little bit more longer to get tender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
All right, we're just going to take a brief pause here just to let everyone know again, this is a recorded presentation. And the downside is that we can't take any questions live for our host, but we want to make sure if you have any questions, Chef Boyce's address is in the chat. And if you hadn't noticed, he is a blind chef. He is doing all this blind. He is a professional chef, professionally trained and working. So we appreciate your cooperation and working with us on this. I think this is a very well done professional presentation. And I thank Talana for being insightful during the presentation and asking questions that we might have for him. So we will continue with the presentation. Just remember at the end of the workshop, there will be a door prize drawing. You must be present to win. And being this is a presentation from the president of VIA, the door prize will be sponsored by VIA today. So thank you very much. And we will see you at the end of the presentation.
Huh? right, we just added, well, that should have been right at the equivalent of 2 pads of butter, maybe 2.5 pads of butter. But we got the butter in there for y'all. All right. And we're just gonna agitate it a little bit, get it worked in. So our butter can also help flavor the carrots and the mushrooms that we've added so far to help tenderize or get tender in the dish. Oh yeah.
She paused it right quick, Bunch.
Okay.
We have to add the, put the, thing in there.
All right. We're back. Now we are on the final piece to the dish with what's cooking with Chef Bongee. All right, we're finna season our chicken. And that happens in the kitchen, you know, stuff falling, you know. All right, we're gonna season our chicken very generously. Wanna make sure we got all the chicken with some seasoning on it. And we're gonna rotate it around so it is very, very flavorful. All right, for all the lovely people that have a little vision, if my camera lady would come closer for me. How we looking on that seasoning? We're looking delicious. Thank you. Shout out to our camera lady, y'all. She's very sweet.
With your seasoning, Chef Boyce, how do you determine how much seasoning you're putting on your meat or in your dish?
As of right now, I've been trying to find a better way to perfect or season my food. So as of right now, I've been doing the little pinch method, if you will. Mix up some seasoning in a bowl and then sprinkle it with adding pinches of gracefully or graciously or generously till I feel the seasoning stuck on the meat or the protein, and then I season afterwards accordingly. Oh, excuse me.
Hey there, everybody. We are working out a technical difficulty because we've already seen this segment. So just bear with us and we will continue with the presentation. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Oh, welcome back. Now, we've added our onions to the dish. Okay, now, everything's looking nice and sizzly. We got everything coming along nice and lovely. I wish I could see my camera lady shaking her head saying yes, but we all good. Now, we're gonna add our lovely bell peppers. Okay. Alrighty. Now, oh yeah. You have to excuse me, I get excited when the dish is coming along.
That's no problem. I love the excitement. It shows that you take pride in your dishes and your cooking skills.
I don't know, the camera lady ain't had nothing bad to say, so I must be doing all right, y'all. Hey, y'all gonna get a little comedy this evening, or this morning, or this afternoon? Oh no, it's up here. Okay. Oh yeah. Now, what we're doing now, since we're building layers of flavor, we're gonna season as we add more vegetables just to keep it all consistent. Get a nice flavor on all our vegetables. Yes, and we just sprinkling and sprinkling. We're not doing too much. A nice generous pinch here and there. Yes, ma'am. Just so we can flavor the vegetables. Why I keep going over that? I like to put it up here. All righty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If the viewers could smell the aroma, it's a sensual seasoning smell with, I don't know, I could just imagine how the vegetables are looking inside the dish.
Earthy undertones.
Earthy undertones. That's hilarious. Have you added your squash and zucchini yet?
No ma'am, those will be the last items I add.
Is it because they become more tender
They
fastly?
faster, yes ma'am. They cook faster because they don't have the thickness or the density of the mushroom or the carrots, if you are checking it out.
I'm just being observant.
No problem. All right. The final step, everybody. Squash and zucchini. All right. Now, we got all that in there. Not just yet, guys. Don't get excited. All righty. Now, remember, I also said we're going to build layers of flavor. Now, we're going to season our squash and zucchini. Not too much, just a little lightly. We're just going to give it a nice little. All right.
A nice little pinch of seasoning.
Hey, just two. That's all we need. Nice and easy. That's our style, baby. No, they didn't pay me for that one. Yeah. Okay. I must have put it up. All right, we're gonna get us another pat of butter to add to our dish to help continue with the sauteing of our vegetables and our medley. All righty. All right. Put that in the back. All right. All right, now, trying to put things away as we finish to the last little bit of our dish. everything's coming along nicely. Everything's browning real well. Nothing's burning. Have a nice tint on the vegetables. I'm going to rotate them a little bit so they can continue getting golden on the other side. All right. Okay. Okay. So everything's going on here. We can go from there. All right, everyone. Now, let's agitate and rotate our vegetables. All right. Let's get them down in there so they can get good and caramelized and get a little crisp on them. Let that seasoning get up on them so we can infuse these flavors together. Yes, 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 yes. It's looking good. Smells good. All right. Miss Townsend, can I get 2 cups of that, please? All right, you can have it to me, please.
That's the cup.
Okay.
Do you want me to take the top off for you?
Please.
The top is off and I have it.
Thank you.
Now,
All
what
right,
are you
y'all.
doing now, Chef Boyce?
What we're gonna do, we're gonna deglaze the pan. Deglazing the pan, and all we're doing is taking everything that the seasoning, the olive oil, and the protein that stuck a little bit and released from the bottom of the skillet to, when we deglaze the pan, we're just gonna add a flavorful liquid, and then we're gonna agitate the bottom to get all that flavor off the bottom of our dish or our skillet. Okay?
So did you remove the things from the skillet or you just pushed them to the side?
I made a hole in the middle
Okay.
so that alcohol can burn off like it's supposed to. And then that is going to create our base for our sauce. Okay.
And I heard you in the beginning, you were using Moscato Rosé.
Yes, ma'am. It has a very vulgar name, so we're going to leave it. I'll just put it up to the camera.
No.
Call me
No.
on the phone if you'd like to know the name of the Moscato. Oh, I hear it. Oh, you said you had the top. Okay, Miss Townsend? Okay.
Who is it? Who is it? Hello?
Huh? How's it looking, everyone? It smells wonderful. Oh, yeah. We just need a few more minutes on it, y'all.
Where's your bottle, Chef Boyce? Your bottle of wine.
It's on the table.
Okay. I have a little humor, Chef Boyce.
Oh boy, I'm nervous. What's the
So-
humor?
After dinner's done, can we have the rest of the wine with dinner?
Sure. I might need a little bit just for a little gravy if you don't mind.
A little gravy?
Yeah, go and give me another cup of that, please. And then I'm
Okay.
fixing to get
Do you have the cup? Or did you place it over here? Okay, here you go. Here's your cup and the wine with the top off.
Okay, thank you.
I'm right here to your left-hand side. There's the measuring cup and there's the bottle of wine, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. I have it. Thank you. Alexa, stop. So do you still have your skillet up high or you bring it down to a simmer?
I brought it down.
Okay.
I brought it down to the simmer so we can go on and make the sauce for it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're making the sauce. Everything's working. Everything's looking good. I've turned it down to a simmer. I've added the pads of butter so the wine sauce can get nice and satiny. Oh, and it's smelling good, y'all. Okay, Clara. I apologize. My camera lady. Can we get a close up on the dish? How we looking?
I'm on it.
You on it? Hold on. Just a little humor for the viewers. Let me wave that scent over there to you. Let me wave it to you. Yeah. Just a little humor. Thank you, guys.
So Chef Boyce,
Yes, ma'am.
in this particular dish, are you using a base up under it when you eat it, or how are you serving this dish?
We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna serve it over a bed of rice. White rice, if you will.
Okay.
With-
Can this dish also be served with pasta?
Yes. But once again, we trying to stay on the healthier side of the dish, guys. But you can use whatever base you like. You can use pasta, you can use rice, you could choose you could choose not to use rice or pasta at all and just do pretty much a vegetable-based stir fry, if you will. You could just have chicken and an array of vegetables, and it makes it healthier when you can add vegetables and get rid of most of your starches.
Thanks for that tidbit, bit of information.
No problem. All righty. Okay, let's turn that down. We ready to simmer a little bit. Oh, yes. All right. Now, I'm finna get my plate presentation ready for you guys so you can see the final product. All righty.
Very good.
I'm coming in with the plate, guys.
There you go. Thank you.
We done. We can turn it off, right? Oh, hey, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm about to taste the final product. Here we go. I'm being the taste testy. It seems like I have nothing but rice. Here we go. It smells very delightful. Chef Boyce is very delightful, very seasoned, very flavorful. And you can taste the wine, but you can't taste it. That's awesome. Hear me? What?
Okay, am I viewing the right spot?
Here you go. Right there.
I'll be still. Your turn.
My turn. So our camera lady is gonna taste the product too and give her opinion on the product that we have set in the kitchen with Chef Boyce on this day, this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever we may be. It's some time somewhere.
I'm going to say in Creole, c'est si bon. That means it's very good.
Oh boy, we got a little Creole in the house, y'all. Well, thank y'all for cooking with Chef Bongee on What's Cooking. Thank you, Miss Townsend, for the opportunity, and thank you, Haven, for the opportunity as well. We appreciate all the opportunities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef Bongee Boyce III, for our episode with Haven, What's Cooking.
All right. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. I want to say thank you to Talana and Chef Boyce on their presentation. Also to their camera woman, Aunt Clara. Thank you very much. For those who can see, she worked to get the video on his preparation throughout, and I just want to give a tip of my hat to them for the work they put into the production. So I want to say thank you all for bearing with us. This is a new way for us to present a workshop. It was a means of really wanting to make this one happen as the weeks coming up to the workshop evolved. We found out that he was not going to be able to be here to present. So we really wanted to make this happen, and we want to try something new. So a little bit of growing pains in the process, but we have pulled through, and I think that went overall very well. So we are going to also announce that this will be our last workshop until after the Inside Expo. We want to make sure that everyone is aware of that. So our Inside Expo, the Haven Inside Expo, will be virtual this year. We have registration open, and in the follow-up email there will be information about that as well. And before we go on, I want to make sure we have a door prize winner. Have we worked through that yet? Miss Stacy, have you found a door prize winner for me?
I have, and it's
Awesome.
so when you're ready, I can deliver that news.
All right, drum roll, please. Brrr.
All right, so you have to be present to win, and Ron will be getting in touch with you. And our winner today is Alice Lopez.
Alice. All right, congratulations, Alice. Glad you're on today. So Alice is one of our friends. She's been to the actual Inside Expo in person a couple of years ago. She came down from Austin. So I'm glad you're here today, Alice, and we will be in touch. And we have a gift card for you, and I will work to get that to you. So again, thank you all for being here today. We are really looking forward to our Inside Expo that's coming up on April 30th. It will be virtual, so everyone that's here today is able to attend just as well for that. Our theme this year is BYOB, be your own boss. We're talking about taking charge of your life on the job, in your hobbies, and just plain having fun. So we're working on that steadily, and so we will be suspending our monthly workshops until the other side of that. So I want to say thank you again for being here. Thank you to Via, Talana, and Chef Boyce and Aunt Clara for all their work in preparing their videos for presentation today. And we look forward to seeing you. Thank you to Raul and Stacy for all the tech support on this end of it. So we will see you all on the other side here.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Stay safe.